Hey, welcome to this next installment of the mini series. Now, we've looked at nutrition, we've looked at training and exercise and movement. Now we're going to start looking and tapping into the mindset. Huge part of the whole process, because if you haven't quite got the right mindset, you haven't got the self-belief, you haven't got the belief that you can actually achieve something, it's going to be very difficult to stay the course when it gets tricky at times. So that's what we're going to look at here. We're going to rewire a few habits and we're going to break some limiting beliefs that people have. So this is going to be a really important lesson, and I want you to take this on board. Really concentrate on this and take this one on board, okay? So first up, we're looking at a few limiting beliefs, the most common limiting beliefs that I could think of when I wrote this presentation. First thing is, I don't have time. Now, people assume that to change your health and fitness in your life, you have to dedicate hours and hours and hours of time to it. You don't have to. Sometimes it's about just being more intentional with your time and being more productive with your time and really being efficient with that time. So it could even be 5 minutes of some really focused intention can be way more beneficial than spending hours on something. So generally, people who say they don't have time are fairly unorganized. You need to organize things better, and you can find the time to do a 20-minute workout. You can find the time to do meal prep on a Sunday afternoon. You can find the time if everything else is organized and structured. The "I failed before" kind of issue that people have as well. If they've tried something in the past, they see it as a failure. Past attempts at things aren't failures. They're data points. You can use them for future reference, okay? So each previous effort is going to give you valuable feedback and data and information about what works for you and what doesn't work for you in your unique circumstances. Everyone's different. So just because, for example, say a fitness plan hasn't worked for you before, doesn't mean the next one won't. You know, it's just about having that open-mindedness to think, you know what, that didn't work for me. It wasn't quite right for me. This next one that I'm going to choose well, I'm going to learn from that mistake, and I'm going to really choose well to make sure the next one does work for me, and it's the right coach for me, and it's the right plan for me. So there's no such thing as I failed before. Everything we learn from, there's no such thing as failure. And then I can't be consistent is the next one that crops up quite a bit. Now, people feel they need to be perfect all the time in order to achieve the results they want. This is not the case. You need to be consistent. You need to have resilience. It's the ability to return to the path after inevitable kind of detours from it. So basically, if you've gone off plan for a couple of days or a day or a few days, and then you throw the towel in, that's not what we want. If you think, oh, what's the point? I can't stick to it. I haven't been good the last 2 days. That defeats the object. The people that really succeed are the ones who get back on plan after that. So say they've had a weekend off, they've been away with the family or with some friends for the weekend, they come back, they get back to it, and then they have a couple of weeks where they're really on point, and then they have a holiday somewhere for a week, and then they come back, they just get back to it. Now, can you see how over time, if you can continually come back to it, how that can make the progress sustainable long term, and you will eventually get there. The people that don't achieve their results are the ones that quit. The people that stick the course always get results 100% of the time. So these limiting beliefs are pretty common. They crop up a lot, but they aren't facts, okay? They're stories we tell ourselves over and over again, so much so they feel like the truth. So that's not the case. Recognizing them is the first step to rewriting your narrative and becoming the person that you want to become, the person that you want to be. So those kind of things, we need to kind of try and eliminate them, all right? Then we have the identity shift. Now, I talk about this a lot with my clients. It's about changing your identity. This isn't just a weight loss thing. This isn't just about burning body fat. It's not just about getting a six pack or building muscle or getting stronger. It's an identity change, identity shift. And we want to change the kind of mindset from thinking about outcome-based goals to true identity-based goals. So an outcome goal would be, I want to lose 10 stone, or I want to go to the gym 3 times a week, or I want to meditate every now and again. I want to read a book every single day. They're outcome-based goals. Identity shifts are things like saying to yourself, I'm a person who nourishes my body really well every single day because I know I'm going to feel great for it. I'm someone who's prioritizing movement because I know that's going to benefit me for the rest of my life. I'm a mindful person who values clarity because I know that really helps me stay focused. They are identity shifts. So it's not just thinking about the outcome, it's thinking about who you are going to become. And I talk about the why with clients a lot. Why do they want to do this? What is their why? And I wanted to think about who they are in 5 years' time a lot of the time. So you can do that as well. You can think about who do you want to be in 5 years' time? What does that person do on a daily basis? How do they look? How do they enter a room? All these different things. That is the person you want to become, and that is achievable, from identity-based shifts. So really important we try and think of that, okay? Now we're going to rewire, speak properly, Mark, your mind. Some practical tools to do so. So we have things like morning routine. The first 20 minutes of your day set your mental trajectory for the rest of the day. So try and craft a little morning ritual. It doesn't have to be one of these crazy ones you see online where people have got meditation, yoga, red light therapy, cold plunges, all this stuff. It doesn't have to be that. It just needs to be a little morning ritual that is going to align with your new identity. So even a 5-minute routine can transform your mindset when it's done consistently. So things like starting the morning with some deep breaths, followed by affirming your new identity while looking in the mirror. Something I do is I write down what I'm grateful for every single morning. That sounds silly, but I get super deep in what I'm grateful for. So I literally write down, I'm grateful for the fact I woke up in a warm, cozy bed this morning. I'm grateful for the fact that I've got a roof over my head. I'm grateful for the fact I've got an amazing wife. You know, these kind of things. That's what I am really grateful for. And just doing that has started to really change my mindset into a more positive one. Okay, so little things like that go a long way. I also try and read 10 pages every single morning, every single evening. That's something I do as well. I'm just implementing this into my life, okay? Journaling is another one that I think people should probably take more seriously. So writing externalizes internal dialogue. It gets your thoughts onto a page. It makes limiting beliefs visible and changeable. When it's on a page, it's changeable. So regular journaling can create space between thoughts and identity as well. So try something like this. Write, I'm telling myself, whenever you catch yourself, a limiting belief arising. So I notice I'm telling myself so whenever you feel that limiting belief arising. Okay, so just try and quash that limiting belief straight away and just write it down. All right, pretty important kind of thing that we can do, and a very simple thing we can do to really change your thought process around all of this. And then visualization is next up. So your brain doesn't fully distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. So thinking about what you want to do that day, thinking about who you want to become, thinking about trying to achieve something spectacular, thinking about it, your brain doesn't really know if that is real or not. So the more you think about it, the more chance it's got of becoming real. Without sounding too hippy-dippy now and airy-fairy, it can work, okay? Regular visualization creates neural pathways to support the new identity of yourself. So spend 2 minutes every single day in the morning visualizing yourself acting from your new identity. The habits your new identity does every single day, we're going to implement them into your life as well. So if the person you want to become goes to the gym 3 times a week, we're going to try and implement that. If the person you want to become does a walk every single morning, we're going to try and implement that. If the person you want to become meditates twice a week, we're going to try and implement that into your week. Okay. Now, these tools aren't just kind of nice to haves. They're practical methods that will really work from a neurological standpoint. It's going to rewire how you feel, how you think, and ultimately how you behave to become the person that you truly do want to become and the person you've always wanted to become. So your immediate action step from this training today, few challenges for you to do, is to write down one limiting belief that is holding you back right now. You're going to identify the evidence you use to support this belief as well. You're going to challenge this evidence. Is it truly valid? Is it true? More often than not, the answer is going to be no. You're going to create a new empowering belief that aligns with your identity, your new desired identity, and you're going to write 3 pieces of evidence that support this new belief. Okay, and the people that do this are the ones that make change. So don't just watch this and don't bother, all right? Watch this. Do this. It will start to change your life. Trust me. Write 3 pieces of evidence that support the new belief. Now, this isn't just a mental exercise. It's the beginning of neurological transformation. We are trying to rewire your brain, and you can do it. Your brain isn't just stuck where it is. We can change it. And by consciously challenging and reframing beliefs, you're literally creating new neural pathways. You are going to change your identity. Pretty much change who you are and who you want to become can become real. So the virtuous cycle of transformation here. First up, we have mindset shift. So we're going to change your identity. We're going to change your identity level beliefs. We're going to create new mental patterns, and we're going to create consistent action rather than forced action. We're going to it's going to make it feel more natural. Okay. Consistency. When actions align with identity, consistency becomes self-reinforcing. Each action further validates your new self-image. So when you're consistent with it, and you are super consistent with it, actually, you're going to really enforce to yourself who you are, the new version of you. And the results will come from consistent action. It's going to produce the outcomes that you desire. Be consistent with it. Don't stress if it isn't happening straight away. Be consistent with it. Create tangible evidence that further strengthens your new identity. So this is just an important part of the whole journey, guys, is this mental aspect. The mentality side of things is huge. It's something I work on a lot with my clients, is the mental side of stuff, because yes, they all want to lose body fat, get fitter, stronger, look great, but a lot of people who come onto a program have got these kind of like little mental kind of flaws, I would say, in terms of their self-belief, their self-esteem, they're not really sure who they want to become, what they want to become, and that's exactly what I do to help them. So coming up in the next lesson, we're going to look at how to actually solve your relationship with food once and for all, from a kind of a battling willpower perspective into just loving how you're eating for self-care and from a nourishment standpoint, okay? It's going to be superb, the next lesson. Make sure you watch it. Please get the task done that I spoke about before, or just head back briefly to today's challenge. Make sure we write this down. All these little challenges here, make sure you get them done, because the people that do them, they get the change, okay? So hopefully you've enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions at all, give me a shout and I'll see you in the next lesson.